So, welcome to the scheduler for planning the 8 areas of your life and your rituals. So, with this, as you can see, it's structured into 5 steps. The first one being organizing your sleep. Why? Because our sleep is really our priority. When we sleep right, then usually the rest of our day follows quite well as after that. The second step is to schedule our priority fixed agendas. And so we go along and fill these out for all 8 areas of our life, time organization being one of those areas. And the third step then comes to scheduling our rituals. So basically listing our ritual activities such as brushing teeth, flossing, making bed, all these things that we actually have to schedule into our time if we are going to make sure that we have them in our day. And the fourth step is then to cluster these rituals into segments. As you'll see, we'll talk more about this when we get to it. And the fifth step is to schedule our in-between time. And this is really important as well, as we'll get to. But we'll start with first, as I've written here as your first hint, is to schedule your time that are your fixed agendas. Ultimately, your time that you cannot budge on, such as your job, unless you work from home. But then, even so, you really do want to schedule it. Any appointments that you have, and any classes that are fixed. So these are things that you need to make a priority to schedule. Now, as you guys are on this program, I've put here this one asterisk here, meaning that you really want to also make these fixed agendas, such as the rituals that are our AM gratitude, our PM gratitude, scheduling, meal planning, grocery listing, and our workout and our mobility session. So also, and our grocery store. Getting to the grocery store is really important for us because we need to be able to have the foods available so that we can eat right. Actually, this alkalize here should also have an asterisk next to it because this is an essential part of the program. So, going through this, first of all, we want to work out how much time do we want to sleep? What's our ideal? So, we write that in here. So, this is going to be different for everyone, but I recommend this is not about like how much can you get by on, it's how much do you really need to feel good. Because if we don't schedule time for it and we're constantly running on bare minimum, we're actually not going to have that time of recovery and relaxation and to feel well rested. And this is all what this is about, is being healthy and feeling amazing. So let's schedule in our ideal sleep time. And the next part of that is to just ask yourself, well, when do you want to sleep? So what hours? And that's where you write that in here, whatever hours that is for you. So these are the hours that you want to schedule in first. And what this sort of looks like on your schedule now, however you want to do it, whatever calendar system you've got. But so my hours are between 10:30, and this is my evening time when I wind down after here, till 6:30 when my day starts. And so that's where I start scheduling from, is between those hours of 6:30 till 10:30 at night. So that's the first part. Once you've got that organized, then these are immovable, as I said. These need to be in there, your scheduling, meal planning, and grocery list for your time organization. But you might want to organize other things that come as part of your time organization, and those there you can add here. So you can add anything that you do in your week that involves organizing your time. It might be organizing a coaching schedule maybe for your kids or whatever that is. That goes into your time organization. Next, when you've written that in, now these are just suggested times for how long I suggest that these could take, but they might take longer or shorter time for you, so go accordingly. But this is how many minutes, as I've got here, how many minutes this session will last you. How long time will this take? So, for example, scheduling here, I've got, I take generally 15 minutes to do that, and I schedule myself once a week. So that's what the frequency is. How many days per week are you doing this particular activity? Then, so we go through all the areas of our life. Now these, like I said, they're mandatory, the ones with the asterisks on them, but you can add anything to that, such as under spiritual for me comes yoga, and I do yoga every day. So that's something, so you might include whatever it is for you. If you go to church maybe, or whatever it is, then you want to schedule that time in if it's important to you. Again, you schedule in how long that takes, and I've put here as a minimum 5 minutes for that morning ritual, that AM gratitude and PM gratitude, and that's 6 days a week that I want you guys to be doing that particular ritual in the mornings and in the evenings. And then we come to the emotional area of life, so that might be, like you guys might read a book that, or whatever it is, whatever activity it is, but the minimum activity that I've put on this program is mindset time, and that's 20 minutes that will take to go through, and we'll be doing that twice a week. So you can add anything there as well that you want to add under anything that has to do with helping you emotionally. And then again, so our vocation is our job. And that there is, again, I've put an asterisk because you need to put that into your schedule, obviously, because you need to be able to work around those hours. And again, anything that you want to add, for example, self-study, or whatever it is that you want to do for that area of your life. Again, coming over to finances, don't know what you do there. You might want to do more than just budget entry. You might want to do some accounting each week, or whatever it is, but you need to enter it in if it's going to get done. Again, then so we move on to the family area of our life, and again, like, these are the things that generally fall away because we get so caught up in time in our job, and most people only really have their job scheduled, so everything else really falls by the wayside. But if we want to have time with our family, then we need to schedule it in. I've used a few examples here, like if you want to go to the duck park 45 minutes 4 days a week, maybe you want to do that in your afternoon after you come home from work, or I'm not sure, maybe you want to go to the beach or get out in nature with your family for a few hours, and maybe you want to do that once a week. Maybe you want to jump on a phone call to someone in your family or your friends. Again, like, maybe estimate how long that would take. And this is just so these things like that come up as unforeseen, so we know that we're going to do these, we know we have the intention to do them, so it's more likely that we're going to fit these things in, and also they're not going to interrupt, because if we can let our family know, look, what time would suit you best for me to call, and let's have that phone chat so that it's not interrupting something important in your schedule. So that's why, again, it's important to put these things in. Again, I've used an example in social. Maybe you'll have a dinner once a week, maybe for 2 hours. Phone chat to friends. And again, so then when it comes to our physical, I've put in 2 essentials here again, which is our WOD, that we're going to do our WOD and we want to log that WOD. That is a priority activity. That is 35 minutes that you want to schedule that in for 4 days a week. And our mobility, as I said, on the days that we are doing our WOD, for 15 minutes in that evening 4 times a week as well. So those things there. So as I said, these ones with the asterisk, those are there as mandatory, but you can fill in anything you want. And then it's just a bit of a game of playing Tetris really with your schedule to basically organize it in your time. So, like, where can you, so business play for me is my work, and where can I fit that in? So lunch is obviously a priority thing that you might want, that you need to schedule in. Your groceries, as I said, that's a scheduled activity that you need to fit in. I've got a midweek top up that I do my groceries on Wednesday, and I go to the farmers markets on Saturday morning to do most of my groceries from there. This week I've decided I'm going to wash my car, so that's already scheduled in. I have my house cleaning on Saturday tethered with my laundry. My workouts in my afternoons. That's when I like to train. You might like to train in the morning, so you might look different for your schedule. I do yoga in my mornings. So again, it's just about playing Tetris with blocking in your scheduled activities. Now, I want you guys to think about this. Like, I know sometimes it feels like, wow, like that really looks fixed for my life to be so scheduled. But one thing I learned when I was very young, when I was just only a teenager, and I remember someone saying to me, with great freedom comes great responsibility. And I thought, what? What does freedom have to do with responsibility? Like I really see those as opposites. And what I've come to learn over the years is that it's really only when we take responsibility for our time, for our lives, that we actually feel a sense of freedom, because we actually now get to enjoy the things that are important to us. So remember, guys, this schedule is your schedule. This is, your time. It's your life. So you may as well put into your life what it is that you want to do. So that's the whole purpose of this. And as you'll see when we go down here, that the importance of this in-between time in this schedule as well. So step 3 is you're gonna list all your ritual activities. So like I said, these are just examples. Brushing teeth takes 2 minutes. These are daily, so you can see there's no need to fill out the frequency because you're going to be doing these every day. Brush teeth, floss, make bed, have breakfast, lunch preparation, whatever it is that you do daily goes into this list here. Obviously it's going to be far longer than what I've got listed here as examples. Your weekly rituals, what you do, however often you do it. I clean my house 45 minutes once a week. I do my laundry, it takes about 25 minutes once a week. As I said, I go to the grocery store once a week. It takes me about 35 minutes to do that on my bike. And I go to the farmers markets and I enjoy myself there, so I take a bit of time there. I take 90 minutes to go there, and I do that every Saturday morning. And then you've got your occasional ritual list, so you need to have time for this as well scheduled. When are you going to have your haircut done? I get my hair cut every 4 weeks, and it takes me about 45 minutes to go to the barber when I make my appointment there. I mow the lawn. That takes me about 40 minutes, and I do that once every 3 weeks. It might adjust with summer coming up. That was actually far less in winter. I wash my car. I do that about once every 4 weeks. It takes me about half an hour to do that. And so then you need to find the time again to put these rituals, and what we do with these rituals, because some of these are only small time frames on them, they're not very long. We're going to cluster these rituals, activities, into clusters of rituals. So our clusters are our wake-up ritual. What do you do when you wake up? For this, it might look different, but like I've put here, these are mandatory wake-up rituals on this program just to help you to wake up with that energy and to cleanse your body with alkalizing, and I'll talk more about that later on. But they only take a few minutes, like I said, max of 5 minutes. 5 minutes here, and then what you do after that is up to you, whatever your wake-up ritual, but these are just pulled from here into these sections here. So you've seen brush teeth is pulled into the morning ritual. Make bed, I've pulled it down into the wake-up ritual. And then you cluster your morning ritual. These are your total times for that ritual, so so then you don't have to go put these individual items into your schedule. You just know that your wake-up ritual, takes you, say, 20 minutes, and you schedule that in as 20 minutes. Your morning ritual takes you 45 minutes. You see here, on the morning ritual days when I do my juicing, it takes longer than my mornings when I don't. So that's why those days are longer, more time spent on that ritual. Then we have our dinner ritual. So this is your dinner preparation, time to do your food appreciation. Again, that is mandatory to have some food appreciation for what we eat. Your eating time. I know this sounds very robotic at the moment, but these are things that we do anyway, guys. So it's not like you're not doing these things anyway. Your time to wash up, your total time for that, and then again, so you can schedule that in as your dinner ritual. So clustered together. So you've got your evening ritual. And so when you know that your evening ritual, these are mandatory for this program, but you can do more if you want, is to end your stimulus, like all stimulants be turned off. That means mobile phones, screens, any tablets, any TV. Lower your lights, start your mobility, and finish with your PM gratitude. And that all up is 25 minutes. So then you know that before you go to sleep, if your sleep time says 10:30, then you're going to have to start that ritual at 9:55. No, what is it? No, at 10:05. So then you know that you would so you'd schedule in 10:05 evening ritual, and so you'll get that done. And then finally we come down to our in-between time activities, which is everything that we do that, again, doesn't serve a utilitarian purpose, and we need to have this in our lives. This is really important to have this downtime that we have in between, this time that doesn't really necessarily relax our minds, as we'll talk about a little bit later on, but it's still necessary to have this, sitting, like I said, I post on Instagram or surf Instagram, and I do that for about 5 minutes, and I do it about 3 times a week. Chill on the couch. I just, sit there. Maybe sometimes just TV channel surf, or sit on my computer and watch some YouTube. And again, I do that 15 minutes, generally 5 days a week, sometimes less, sometimes, but no more than that. And Facebook browsing, something like that, again, 15 minutes, 3 times. These are all just examples, but just put that stuff in there that you know that you enjoy doing. And that is really what this time is on my schedule. It's the nothing times in between, and I've got plenty of those blank spaces. You can see even after lunch I leave a little bit of time just to chill. After I've done my work day, I have a little bit of time to chill, and then before I do my workout, after I've gone for my ocean swim, before I have some dinner. That's probably that couch time right there that I'm talking about. After I've had my dinner, especially after dinner, you like to just relax for a little bit, and then I get into my mobility, and then I go and I stretch that out so I can go to bed at 9:30, or I can just chill out. But after this time, no electronics. So we want to go to bed with that relaxed mind, and that's not this passive stimulated mind that we get from screens and social media and so forth. So once we've written down all these things, guys, like I said, it's a bit of a Tetris game to see where do we fit these into our schedule. Now, you can fit these in wherever you want. That's completely up to you. It's your time to choose where you fit in these mandatory scheduled items. Like I said, some obviously are an AM wake up thing. It's the first thing when you wake up, but when you wake up is your choice. So it's just, again, this is just to help you feel that you are actually having more time, knowing that you're doing the things that you love to do and are important to you in your life. So this is really important, guys. Take the time to do it. And the first time might take you a little bit longer. Obviously, it's your first time going through it. But then as you do this more frequently, you'll see that some things just become fixed in your schedule, and you don't have to throw them around too much. They will become clustered rituals that you will just do week by week by week as you go along. If you see with my schedule, I've scheduled those in basically quite static, and if I need to change them, then I go and change them. And I do take that time as you can see here, time organization. I choose to do that on my Friday because that includes my meal schedules, and I get most of my food picked up on Saturday. So I'm organized for when I go to the markets for what I need to pick up. So I hope this video helped you guys in that scheduling process. Give me a shout out if you have any questions about it. But yeah, enjoy it, guys. Take your time to enjoy. This is, again, like, it's your life, it's your time, so make it fun. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video.